Alright, hello everyone and welcome to episode 44 of Zero to Hero. There were loads of suggestions in the comments, teams like Villa, Newcastle and so on, for me to try and go to. As we saw, I tried to apply to some English teams that were in the Premier League. None of them were biting, and I've ended up joining Real Valladolid. I hope that's how you say it, who are based in Spain. So first match of the season, away from home against Valencia. And this is massive for me because obviously they were the only team basically in the main top flights who were willing to take a punt on me. So I'm happy with that. We're playing a 4-4-2 and I'm playing out on the right-hand side. So going into this season, I'd say I'm probably expecting to score less than I did at Blackburn and assist more, especially given that we have two players up front. So it's going to be a little bit more reminiscent of how I used to play at the Kashima Antlers, of course. But anyhow, not much happened in the first half in terms of where we're really expected to finish. Considering these guys were like the only team willing to take a punt on me in La Liga, it pretty much tells you we're expected to finish at the bottom of the league. Enes Unal there with the potential assist from me. He did well to, regain his balance, spin and pull the trigger, but it was a very good save by the goalkeeper. I then win the ball back in true N'Golo Kante-esque fashion. Enes Unal plays in none other than Mr. Verde, who's our second striker, and that meant that we took the 1-0 lead at the Mestalla away from home. Gary Neville's going to enjoy that one. And a game we're not really expecting to win. We'll be happy with a point, really, just to kickstart our season. And with only 10 or so minutes to go, or 20 or so minutes to go rather, we took a 1-0 lead. I then played a 1-2 with the goal scorer Verde, managed to get a shot, but it was saved by the goalkeeper. Valencia then came back with their only real major chance of the second half, which was that header, followed by my clearance here, which of course, meant that we won 1-0. So a 6.5 rating for me in my first La Liga match. Not too shabby, not too bad. We're 71 overall now. Mbappe has won the Europe Best Player Award. So congratulations to him, I guess. And we go again away at Villarreal. So we're yet to play a home game so far this season. 2 games into the season. And we got 3 points on the board already. I whipped the ball in there. Enes Unal was just offside. But you can see the type of player he is. He's big, he's physical. I think he used to play for Manchester City. And I think he's actually in real life on loan at Valladolid from Villarreal. But anyhow, talking about Villarreal, they hit the post. But obviously, you don't win games by hitting the post. You win games by scoring goals. And that's what I was trying to do. So I floated the ball in towards that back post. That's going to be something you see me doing a lot of. Just trying to get that ball towards Enes Unal. Now, one of the main reasons why I was kind of attracted to Spain, and probably one of the reasons why this Spanish team in particular was slightly more attracted to me, bar the fact that they probably had the weakest midfield in La Liga, so it made sense to purchase me, is the fact that it's slightly less physical than the Championship and the Premier League, of course. And we saw that there, as I had managed to hold off the defender, got my first Real Valladolid goal in, quite simply, my second proper game. Yet to really score on my home debut. I think that's in the next match, so fingers crossed that happens. But yeah, we took a 1-0 lead, thanks to yours truly, away at Villarreal. Not really expecting that. And because it was yet another late goal, there just wasn't enough time for Villarreal to try and catch up with us. I got man of the match, and what a start to the new La Liga season it's been so far for us. I'm also going through a really good period where I'm improving dramatically. They have a genuine technical term in Pro Evo that I can't seem to remember or recall right now. Anyways, a Copa del Rey match up against Alaves. And again, another game away from home. Can we make it 3 wins from 3? 18 minutes in, ball was played into the box. Real good defending there from the lad in blue. But then from the resultant corner, my head popped up and it was saved. Oh, I thought that one went in. It was saved. So, very unlucky there. But again, another side of where La Liga's lack of physicality can actually work in my favour. Alaves then mounted a counter-attack. This was something they did quite a lot of throughout the game. Like the goalkeeper was throwing it out quickly towards their two wingers so they could transition real fast. That's a nice variation we've never really seen in the previous leagues within which we've been in before. Another ball whipped in from myself. It eventually fell to our top goal scorer so far, Verde again, who, you know, he just makes sure he's being a fox in the box, makes sure that he's able to sweep up from any second balls that drop down in that danger area due to Enes Unal's physicality. And what a volley that was. That's very similar to Timu Puki's first of his hat-trick goals yesterday. For Norwich City against Newcastle, of course, in the real-life Premier League. And now you can see why I thought my initial header from a corner was a goal. Because I did eventually get unmarked from a corner, and boom, there it was. 2-0, gave us a bit of breathing space away from home in this cup tie. I mean, I can't remember how many headers I kind of scored in England in my 2 or 3 years there. I think I struggled. So again, trying to use the fact that La Liga is slightly less physical to my advantage. But it's worth mentioning, though, that obviously La Liga in general is a step up from the Championship. So as we improve simultaneously, I think we'll naturally be able to hold off some of our specific weaknesses as an individual player. But yeah, we conceded a goal. See my frustration there in front of the goalkeeper. And straight from the kickoff, Alaves eventually win the ball back, get the ball into the wide area. Fullback has been taken on with the quick 1-2. Ball whipped into the box, and that 2-0 lead we once had in under 10 minutes shattered and gone. Now, it's not the end of the world, again, because we've got the 2 away goals, but we needed to be careful that we didn't end up. Well, we've already thrown the lead away. We just need to make sure that with 10 or so minutes to go that we don't end up losing the goddamn game, because I don't know, you know, what Alaves had at half-time, what sort of Weetabix they have in Spain, but it certainly did its job. 83rd minute, Roland crept into the box, and yeah, the equaliser was found in the end. With a little annoying celebration that's very reminiscent of every other goal scored in the Japanese league from early on in this series, because all the players are set to the default celebration. I get triggered every time I see that celebration, and obviously I get triggered every time we concede a goal. So yeah, it was a shame really that that this happened, that the collapse happened, because, you know, if it wasn't for this collapse, if we'd won this game 2-0, it would have been 3 wins in a row, and, you know, confidence would be high. And we still need to bear in mind that Alaves here are a La Liga side, you know, in this cup. It's not like there's some sort of lower league side we'd be expected to beat. They're the type of team we're going to be playing week in, week out in the league anyways. So would have liked to have beat them, because it would give us a good grasp of where we're at as a team. 8.5 rating for me, though, despite the poor result. As you can see, the team that actually ends up winning this second leg will get to face Real Madrid in the next stage. So for me, obviously I'm a Blackburn Rovers fan, but I've always had a soft spot for Real Madrid. So, you know, an aim or a goal for me is to get the chance to play against Real Madrid. I mean, if we can play for them one day, who knows? But yeah, so that's really a major reason why I wanted to win this game. Obviously, we'll get to play them later on in the season, but in a cup game, it has a tastier atmosphere, I think. Early signs suggested, though, that Alaves weren't here to play games. They were playing quite well, and we were struggling. Despite, you know, being the home side, to mount too many attacks. What we needed to make sure, though, was that going into half-time, we were only a goal down. But the cross came in, and none other than John Guidetti. So Enes Unal, I think, is ex-Man City player, and Guidetti as well, of course, ex-Man City player. Defensively, very poor from us, and it just basically steepened the mountain that we already had to climb, and it gave Alaves an annoying away goal. So we needed 2 goals coming out into the second half. Enes Unal, ball over the top. You expect him to finish from there, and he's not really had the best starts to the season up until this point, as opposed to myself or number 11. Forget his name. Tricky feet from me. Tried to play the 1-2. That wasn't the ball that I wanted, but I still managed to float it into the box to the Turk Enes Ünal again, and how on earth he missed that, because I basically, I lofted it across the face of goal, exactly where most strikers would want it, and it wasn't turned into the goal. So yeah, 10 minutes to go, never say never attitude. We kept on going. I kept on going down this right-hand side. Ball was eventually crossed into the box. Somehow, again, another chance saved. Enes Ünal must be kicking himself, and even when I tried to get something on the rebound, it was a phenomenal double save from the Alaves goalkeeper, who at this point is keeping his team in the Copa del Rey. 5 minutes to go, through ball from myself. Enes Ünal was wasteful, and I think by this point you guys can see where this match is unfortunately going. Shot from a distance from the Alaves player. I got substituted off to try and keep me fresh somewhat for the league. Interestingly though, Bass left back overlapped, and the lad who came on for me, who, see if I can remember his name. I can't remember his name. He's called Zyko or something like that. We'll see at the end. He came on, headed home. Zyro. See, I was close. I'm starting to learn these players' names. But yeah, we drew again. The 1-1 draw just wasn't enough. It was a bit of a collapse for us. But our main goal is survival in La Liga. So it's not necessarily the end of the world that we have been knocked out of the Copa del Rey. Up next, again, against one of the stronger sides in La Liga, Iker Muniain there in the tunnel, which just kind of sums up the quality that they've got. They've also got Inaki Williams and players like that. Of course, Inaki Williams was linked with Man United this transfer window. 6 minutes in, first home game of the La Liga season. And Enes Ünal, clearly in training, analysed his dodgy performance in the last Copa del Rey match and decided, right, it's about time I put my finishing boots on. And he beat the offside trap, and he beat the goalkeeper as well to make it 1-0. So that was all good. In terms of our play style, I don't know if you've noticed yet, but our play style, the way I like to kind of describe it is very Leicester-esque. The season they won the Premier League. I'm not saying that we're going to win La Liga, but we like to sit deep. We have a big guy up front, a fast guy up front. Obviously not 100% Leicester, but Okazaki used to provide a nice bit of physicality alongside the pacier Jamie Vardy. But in this case, we have a tank up front in Enes Ünal. He's big. Look at how he wins my direct ball there. Plays a quick 1-2 with the faster striker of the two alongside him. And bada bing, bada boom, nice direct football. Back of the net has been found. I cut inside here, but then end up shooting on my weaker foot, so I can't quite find the back of the net. But 2-0, we had breathing space. All was good. And we needed to make sure that, of course, we didn't concede another. Defensively, we're not too shabby. I think we're gonna ship quite a few goals this season, but I think if we can keep Enes Ünal fit, and I know we have some decent striking options on the bench as well that we've not seen so far this episode. I think there's definitely goals in this team, and the way that we're looking to play, the way we're looking to counter-attack and get the ball forward quickly, suits not just myself, but some of the players we have in this team. So let's see what happens. Ball was whipped into the box there from a short corner, and Ivi Lopez, who assisted the first goal to Enes Ünal, got what he deserved. Came running in at the back post, volleyed it home, 3-0 at home, looking comfortable. But it wouldn't be Pro Evolution Soccer, right, if we didn't at least concede one. Not quite sure what the goalkeeper's playing at. I think he watched Adrian against Southampton. I've got both Van Dijk and Robertson in my fantasy team, so cheers for that, Alisson. There go the clean sheet points, and there goes our clean sheet in Pro Evo as well. 10 minutes or so to go. Ball crossed in from Ivi Lopez, found by Enes Ünal, and those two link up again to get the Real Valladolid fans on their feet. It's a hat-trick for Enes Ünal, completely different player to the Enes Ünal who couldn't finish his dinner in the Copa del Rey match. And all I can say is long may that continue, because it makes my job trying to get as many assists as possible in midfield a lot easier as well. Athletic Bilbao, though, came back. They've got a lot of attacking quality. Inaki Williams grabbed his second. Probably that one was a little bit more deserved than the first goal that our goalkeeper essentially handed to them on a silver plate. But, yeah, it finished 4-2, which meant that we've basically, I'm not sure why I got rating of 4.0, just saying. Especially, you know, given that I put so many chances. Yeah, I basically made the second goal, didn't I? Anyways, we're top of the La Liga somehow. Obviously, that's not going to continue. But considering, you know, we're a team not really expected to light the world on fire, I'm pretty happy with that. And believe it or not, Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo, apparently owns 51% of this football club I am now playing for. But anyhow, if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You guys know what to do. As always, thanks for watching.